Our next guest put the sexy in. Should avenging a dead family be this sexy? Well, let's find out. From Marvel's The Punisher, we have Jon Bernthal, Deborah Ann Wall, and Jeff Loeb. Thanks, guys, so much for coming to Comic-Con. Finally getting to full-on promote The Punisher.
Our pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a long road, but these guys are awesome.
Now, we're so excited. We know Karen very well. We got to meet Frank in Daredevil Season 2. But what are you most excited about bringing The Punisher to his own show?
I'm mostly excited about our new supervillain played by Jon.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, right?
I was just going to say, he's just excited that he has his own show.
Look, I've said it before. Frank is a character, and he's very much in my heart. He's a character that resonates with the law enforcement community and the military community and the unbelievable comic book fans. And I'm super grateful that we get another shot at telling his story, and I hope we got it right.
Now, we did get to know a lot of his origin story in Daredevil Season 2. So what can you guys speak about where you're moving forward with Frank's story now that you have the origin out of the way?
Well, I think you've learned some of the story. What I love about the character and what I particularly respect about Steve Lightfoot, who's the showrunner on the show, was that he really delved into some more of the cracks that make this man and how complex a character he is, and being able to build a world that Karen Page fits into, so it doesn't feel like you're just this, hey, special guest star, and being able to sort of find out, how do you tell a Punisher story for 13 hours?
How do you? What has been exciting you about what you've gotten to shoot already?
It's been exciting. Look, I'm not going to be able to tell you much,
right.
but I think to echo what Jeff said, it's a deep dive, and I think to really try to examine what makes this guy tick, his strengths, his weaknesses, how people affect him. I think he's a character who very much builds walls, has a lot of armor, and the way that folks can penetrate that armor and affect
Karen
him.
is one of those characters.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, actually.
Yeah.
Deborah, we've come to love Karen so much from your time on Daredevil, and we really understand her relationship with Matt Murdock. How does she challenge Frank in this show? Like, what is their dynamic? What does she bring to the table?
I mean, that's my favorite part. In fact, when we were talking with Steve right up front, I was like, my favorite thing about Karen is she's not scared of him. He might be the terrifying monster that has red tape around him, but she crosses that line and she says, think about what you're saying and explain it to me. It can't just be a rhetoric or something that comes out of anger. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that as we move forward into the Punisher series, she continued to challenge him on every aspect. And one of my favorite scenes that we have is exactly that.
Does she help sort of balance the heroic elements of Frank with sort of the anti-heroic elements? Because he is, he's a vigilante who kills people, and that was sort of the crux of the conflict with Matt and Caesar.
You have to stop doing that. That's not a good thing.
Karen's a great bridge for that, because Karen's killed people too, but she also doesn't necessarily feel as secure about it as Frank does. So again, Karen's a nice foil, I think, between the two. So, maybe it's about bringing Matt a little further that way and Frank a little further this way. But, yeah, it's just a good contrast.
Jeff, we're building up to the Defenders. We're talking to the cast today. And, moving forward, it's really exciting to see characters like the Punisher get their own series. What is sort of your strategy moving forward in a post-Defenders world in expanding the different characters and stories you can tell on Netflix?
Yeah, Jeff, what's the plan?
Well, I think Karen Page and Foggy Nelson as the team up, the new heroes for hire. Look, this all has just been kind of a dream come true. It was not that long ago. It was a little over 3 years ago that we went to Netflix. We had this concept, which was we'd like to take Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist and give them their own series, and then put them together in the Defenders. And that was it. That was really all we thought was going to happen. And then they asked for a second season of Daredevil. We brought Jon in to play the Punisher. We almost immediately knew, well, there's a show. But it's really not our call. It's like we're there to provide the best characters, the best writing, the best acting that we possibly can. and then it's up to Netflix and it's up to the fans. So watch the shows to tell Netflix, no, we want more. We want a Karen Page show.
I want a Karen Page show. I want a Karen Page show. But
All the President's Men with Karen Page.
we don't know too much about what the Punisher will be, but I am curious. You've had a nice balance across the Netflix shows of some have sort of a city-threatening villain and some have a very personal villain. And I'm curious if you can speak a little bit to what the threat that's facing Frank in this season in broad terms. With your mic, I need your mic.
Yeah.
You're like, nope.
How can I answer that?
Well, I mean, I think it's the best Punisher stories are ones that are personal, and I think you can expand or expound or whatever that word is.
Yeah, I mean, I think Deb said it too. I think that he's a guy who, he lives in this world of darkness, reeling from what happened to him, and I think he does not want people to affect him. He doesn't want to bring emotion into it, but they do. And I think that what Steve and this team of writers have been able to accomplish is that it is very personal to him, and he is dragged very much into a personal war. And he cares, and like Deb said, I mean, Karen is a character that he very much cares for, whether he wants to or not. And I think he's the kind of guy that views that as a weakness. But the heart is a tricky thing, and when your heart's affected, your heart's affected.
Now, before I let you guys go, I am going to put you on the spot a little bit. We have the Defenders lineup coming out with Iron Fist and Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. If there's a season 2, do you want to see the Punisher among those ranks? Do you think he'd fit well among the Defenders in this world?
Look,
your boss is here right now. He can tell you what you can and can't say.
Yeah. Look, doing anything with Frank is an honor, and it's always like I said, he's in my heart, and I'm grateful anytime I get to walk in his shoes.
Yeah.
But I do think that part of what makes the Punisher work is that it's a very grounded world. It's a very different world than superheroes running around on rooftops. That is where he came from, and certainly where he came from in the Netflix universe. But what's great about the character and about Jon as an actor is that he's big enough to hold it on his own and to tell stories that can live outside the group. We're not, but we have that power and that presence to be able to do that.
Guys, it's such a pleasure to have you here. We cannot wait to see this Punisher series. Seriously, I've enjoyed you guys so much in the Daredevil shows. And Jeff, you keep giving us the goods on TV for Marvel.
Trying.
You're good to
We're
us.
Trying.
So thanks everyone for being here at IGN Live at Comic-Con. We have a lot more exciting stuff coming up next, so stay tuned.
Thank you.